Hey guys, and welcome to this video. I, Divya, with my team members Saloni, Rutuja and Prajakta, we were working on the Python programming language and machine learning. So in this video we are going to see iris classification problem. So basically what this is, it's a problem where you are given a set of different types of flowers, specifically of a species called iris flower, and we are classifying between certain subspecies of that category of flowers. I should also say that we will be just assuming that you have the Jupyter notebook installed in your machine. For this, we will be needing a particular dataset. We can have the detailed version of a dataset at a kaggle.com. Here you can see that. This dataset contains three possible types of iris flower. So there's iris setosa, iris versicolor and iris virginica. So let's actually dive in a little bit more with respect to the problem. The very first step in execution of any code is library declaration. As you can see here, we have imported NumPy as NP for mathematical functions, pandas as PD for data extraction, cleaning and preparation, matplotlib and seaborn for data representation. The next step is to read the iris dataset. We use the read.csv function to read the dataset file iris.csv. The df head acts as an object. The df head shows us the top 10 elements of the dataset. As you can see here, we have the top 10 elements. The df info function gives us the information of the dataset. For example, sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width. We have described the dataset by using the describe function. As we can see here, we have the count as 150, mean value, minimum and maximum values. The df_shape function gives us the shape of the dataset, that is the number of rows and columns in the dataset. Here we have 150 rows and 6 columns. The df_species value count function gives us the count of elements of every species here. Here we have versicolor as 50, setosa as 50 and virginica as 50. IsNull function checks the dataset to see whether there exist any null values or not. Here we do not have any null values. The unique functions returns the count of the unique values of species, that is setosa, versicolor and virginica. Here we are using the mapping function. The values of species are in the string form. They cannot be used in algorithmic operations. So we created a new column named as species code with respect to species column by mapping setosa as 1, versicolor as 2 and virginica as 3. Now here we have the 7 columns in the dataset. Moving forward to the data representation, here we represent the data in the graphical form for the better understanding of the data. The scatter plot. First we have a scatter plot, sepal length versus sepal width, taking sepal length as x and sepal width as a y. Every category of species is given a different color, as you can see here. Every scatter point represents the intersection of sepal length and sepal width. Similarly, we have a scatter plot for petal length versus petal width. Now we plot a histogram with the title as sepal length in centimeter, taking sepal length as x and count as y. We have also box plotted the data of sepal length as shown. Here this line shows the minimum value and this line shows the maximum value. The middle line in the box shows the median value. Also the 25% and 75% values are shown by first and the third quartile respectively. We have plotted the correlation matrix for feature selection as here. This is how a correlation matrix looks like. The next step is the algorithm implementation. Here we train the data and predict the accurate outcome. First is the logical regression. We have used the sklearn linear model named model import logistic regression. X is given the values of petal length, petal width, sepal length, sepal width. Y is given values of species code. Here we are splitting the data to train and test the data using model named as sklearn model selection. 70% data is used for training and 30% is used for testing of the data. We train the 70% of the data using the model fit. Now we calculate the accuracy of a training data by passing x and y values. Similarly, we calculate the accuracy of the test data. Now we predict the test values by taking expected values as y and predicted value as x. After the prediction, we get the confusion matrix which tells us the actual prediction made by the program. Here, out of 50 Setosa count, all 16 are predicted correctly. Out of 15 Wojcicka, 18 are predicted, from which 13 are predicted correctly but 5 are predicted wrong. Out of 50 versicolor, all 11 are predicted correctly. Similarly, we can train and test the data and find the accuracy by using vector machine, support vector machine, decision tree and random forest. Thus we have done with the implementation of the program. Thank you.